Take a quick little look. It's game number 1 of this best of 3, the second series of the night, and it's going to go down on Overgrowth. Of course, I'm Madals, with me is Rotterdam, and spawning to the top right-hand position of Overgrowth, we've got the Blue Zerg playing for Team Acer. It's Scarlett. And her opponent down to the lower left, the Red Zerg, also playing for Team Acer. It is Nerchio. Now, Rotterdam, I just saw someone type in chat, this is turning into the Acer Hope tournament, and that's not too far from the truth at the moment. It was up until the first series where a Liquid player had to win, the 3 Acer Zergs sitting up the top 3 spots.
Yes, but there's still plenty of chance for things to go different. I think things will look a little different in the next 3 series. There is a good chance, like if I look at all the players and you ask me in advance who I think is going to be playing in the overall final, I would have probably said either Bunny and Snoot or maybe Scarlett and Bunny. And Scarlett and Bunny is a very realistic possibility now, especially after, you know, Scarlett was able to defeat Snoot yesterday and Bunny was able to defeat Snoot once more in our previous series, as he has been doing over the last few months. I was talking a little bit with Jens after the series as well. He just seems a little bit lost against Terran, and I think, you know, all pro players find themselves in that position once in a while. You know, that a certain matchup, it just seems like things don't go your way. Yep. Whenever you roll the dice, it always goes wrong. But hopefully for Snoot, he will be able to bounce back. He's not out of it yet. I truly believe that Snoot could win his other 3 matches, and then it's still possible that we find ourselves in some crazy tie situation. So we will see.
Now, looking at this game and what's going on, I took a little look at the stats between the 2 series, and actually, according to Aligulac, these 2 haven't played each other since 2012.
What?
According to Aligulac's match history.
They compete in different regions, of course, you know, WCS America and WCS Europe, and Scarlett definitely travels more to those big international events than Nerchio does. Like, there was a while, especially during Wings of Liberty, when Nerchio was just on top of his game, the time that he won Home Story Cup, I don't know, 5 or 6, whatever it was, in the finals against, like, later stage of Wings of Liberty. Nerchio was one of the best players in the world. He was extremely good in ZvP. He was able to win stuff. These days, Nerchio doesn't really waste his time by going to those DreamHacks with 28 Koreans, and I can't really blame him for it. He picks his tournaments, and yeah, he often competes in different tournaments than Scarlett, but that is still a little shocking to see that they haven't played in an official match in over 2 years.
Yeah, I thought that was really strange as well. Obviously, they will have played each other probably quite a bit more, obviously being teammates and stuff. Yep. But the odds are favouring Scarlett just. Every time they've met previously, or the 2 times they've met previously, according to Aligulac, it did go in Scarlett's favour. Now, for the moment in this game, we've got the Baning Nest coming down from Nerchio. Scarlett has actually still got a lot of gas being banked up. She hasn't started Zergling speed. Interesting.
Yeah, she can do a lot of things with this. Take a look at what Nerchio saw. He did see the extractor, so things like this can be a little deceiving because you scout and you think you're just playing against a standard opening. Violet is a player that does what Scarlett is doing right now pretty often, and then he just goes up to layer very quick, and he actually drops 2 evolution chambers and a roach warren in the front. So you sell the idea to your opponent that you're playing standard, but actually you're going up to a very quick layer, and you will have relatively quick access to roaches with speed. And I think that's what's going on over here.
Now, Nerchio is sending up a speedling. We'll get a good little scout out. Doesn't quite manage to get through, but does see the Evo chamber. Maybe enough to give away a slight hint of this coming, especially seeing the 3 queens. Potentially, but I don't know. Looking at his other information, well, he definitely knows now. He confirms it at the front there. But he hadn't seen the lair, but had seen the early gas, so...
Yeah, Nerchio immediately goes up to 3 bases on the other side of the map. He's getting his own evolution chamber as well. Still though, this stuff like this is a little tricky because now Nerchio knows that he invested in Zergling speed. He didn't really do a whole lot.
He gets a queen, actually. Okay. Just the front there, that's not too bad. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, he also made a Baling Nest and stuff. I don't think if you're Nerchio right now that you're too happy with how this one played out. You're just like, my opponent was playing greedy. If I would have gone crazy, it would have been very difficult for my opponent to stabilize. Now, all I can do is just go up to 3 bases a little quicker and try to deny my opponent from going up to 3 bases. But I don't think Scarlett will have any ambitions to go up to the 3rd hatch before she at least has a couple of roaches to cover her tracks. So I kind of like Scarlett's position here. I've seen this play out quite a bit over the last few months. And the majority of the time where you just don't take any damage at all and you trick your opponent early on, things will go your way.
Well, we're already seeing things start to look very promising for Scarlett. For a start, roach speed is miles and miles and miles ahead for her. At least another 30 seconds already, adding on to the 50 there before Nerchio can even start it. So that's a big lead for him. Nerchio, of course, will have this third hatch up and should be able to at least get some mining out of that, some lava production out of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's pretty much the thing right now, right? Scarlett will have roach speed a lot quicker. She will have upgrades a little quicker than her opponent. But Nerchio will have more units to work with. He had slightly more drones. He will be able to saturate that third base a little quicker, which means more lava. So it's going to be better units versus more units that perhaps are a little less good.
Couple of roaches getting caught here for Scarlett. Nerchio does have better numbers in this immediate trade. No roach speed either quite yet. 5 more seconds until that's done for Scarlett. She will be able to retreat out then, but takes a couple of losses there. Loses only 2 roaches, so not actually that bad. But yeah, as you said, slightly more numbers on Nerchio's side. He's also up in the drone count, 52 to 46. But now that roach speed's finished for Scarlett, and she's going to have the 1-1 upgrades for the roaches very shortly.
Yeah, it's kind of up to Scarlett. It's kind of up to Scarlett right now to make something happen. She's going to have to look for openings. She will try to do that because, of course, her army is a little more mobile. But it's still going to be difficult because Nerchio has more units. He's in a pretty strong defensive position. And Nerchio has actually played this out very well. His own roach speed is about to finish up. He's still down on upgrade. He doesn't have the carapace. But, like you said, he has more drones, more lava, and more... just more roaches in general. So if things just continue from here, Nerchio should fight him in a self position where he might be the one that's perhaps able to make something happen in, let's say, a solid minute from now on with a nice advantage in the roach numbers.
Now, as we mentioned a couple of times this thing, which is quite well known, that carapace upgrade, when it's only the +1 versus 1-1, doesn't make a huge difference in roach on roach, but as this compounds, as +2-2 finishes for Scarlett, it becomes a bit more important. Nerchio has got roach speed now. It's going for this trade, and in terms of roach numbers, it's 30 to 20. That is a shockingly big numbers advantage here for Nerchio, and with only 1 upgrade disadvantage, the trade's going quite nicely for him. He's in a good position to fight here. Good concave up to the north here. This is
really
tough
well
for Scarlett.
Exactly. Excellent job in my opinion by Nerchio. I think he did a really good job there. He took a pretty good fight. He picked off 9 drones in that little skirmish while he traded pretty much even in the roach numbers. Still up 20 supply. Well done. Nerchio has played this out very well. I kind of like Scarlett's opening. Like I said before, I liked it in the start because I've seen Violet do it a lot and he's been able to be pretty successful with it. But Nerchio really didn't overcommit in any ways. He went up to 3 bases immediately and he did a good job in slowing Scarlett's third base down. And now above all, also using his superior roach count to just trade even in roaches, perhaps look for another opening one more time. And it just seems like Nerchio has more, way more even.
Yeah, he's got good roach numbers, 31 to 14. 2-2 isn't kicking in yet. +2 missile attack is going to finish slightly sooner for Scarlett, but it may not even get to that point. Already we see Nerchio just pushing on forward, taking down a lot of roaches here towards the third. Defender's advantage will help Scarlett, as will the spine crawler, but drones getting picked off. Nice little splinter group of units here for Nerchio. Scarlett's in trouble.
That's so well. Like in PvP, we have the 4-stalker hit squad. Here we have the 3 roach hit squad. Just an excellent job there by Nerchio. He leaves plenty of roaches to fight the roaches of Scarlett to make sure that it's not a one-sided battle. But then he splits off 3 roaches and he just keeps sniping drones. This is a close to flawless ZvZ by Nerchio. I'm very impressed. He did it very well. Even though the upgrades will finally finish up for Scarlett, I'm afraid that she perhaps just fell a little bit too far behind. Actually, she still is on 53 workers, which is surprising considering the fact that she has lost a grand total of 22 drones over the last few minutes in this game.
The reason for that, though, is that she spent all of her recent lava resupplying those drones, whereas that allowed Nerchio just to get hugely ahead. He's 39 roaches to 13 at the moment, Rotterdam. That is just such a monumental advantage.
Yeah, when you have 3 times as many roaches as your opponent in a ZvZ, then most of the time you're just kind of digging life. You know that you did something right in this game. Really impressed with the way that Nerchio executed that. GG is called and Nerchio wins game number 1.